All right, here we go. Welcome to Unapologetic and Free. I'm Sharnay.
I'm Lekia.
We are sisters by blood
and friends by choice.
So this evening, we have a special guest with us, Mr. Jesse Mahoney. Born and raised in Orange, Texas, the youngest of 8 kids, Jesse came from a 2-parent household, graduated high school in 1982, and went on to the McKinney Job Corps in 1983. Later in life, he attended Southern University of New Orleans in pursuit of a licensed chemical dependent counselor. He also attended Minnesota Community Technical College to be a medical assistant and phlebotomy tech. After that, he went to Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas, and became a certified recovery coach and state certified community health worker. A resident in San Antonio for numerous years, he is a member and associate pastor at Victory Gospel Chapter. He's a father of 4 beautiful kids and faith-driven man of God. We welcome to the show, Jesse Mahoney.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good. I am great. We are good.
Well, you have the floor. We are waiting and ready for you to share your story.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's a special occasion for me because I don't get an opportunity like this too often. But it's great that y'all have a platform so that a person can come and just share their story with others to provide hope and just some inspiration to other ones that that's trying to get out of a struggle or out of a pit or some type of uncomfortable situation where they can continue on with life. Like my bio said, I came out of a small town called Orange, Texas. Really small where everybody know everybody, and pretty much if you knew me by my nickname instead of my government name, and that's just kind of how close and how small the town is. But my story kind of goes as I grew up to wanting to be say a football player or something like that, sports driven, but never really had opportunity to play sports. My parents was very protective of me because I was the last kid, actually, quote unquote, like they say, the baby. Me and my other siblings, since they all older than me, they still refer to me, or if they introduce me, first thing they say, this is my baby brother. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm a grown man, okay? But it's all good. But yeah, just being out of that type of environment back in them days, you really didn't have too many opportunities to transform into something. So you had to be really on top of your game for us, education, and it all depends on who you knew as well. Well, back then, I kind of took a detour. I got met with tragedy and traumatized at a young age. I look back at it and because we wasn't I didn't come from a hustable type of family where you was able to express yourself or really tell someone how you was feeling. If it was done, by the time I got to that point, it wasn't there for me. My dad was always working. I had never heard him just say "I love you" to anybody. He was never verbal, but he did show and give everybody a work ethic. And mom was a home mom, kept the house, kept the kids up, always in church, prayer warrior, missionary type of lady. She did her best. I lost my mom at a young age. Right after I graduated high school, she passed away. But before then, when I was 15 years old, I got hit with some traumatizing situation. I had a brother that got killed, and a guy shot him, and I was first on the scene to be there and seeing everything that how it developed out and everything, and it traumatized me. It took me back. Never really spoke to anybody or family members about it till later in life. But being that young kid and seeing that and how it went down, it really messed with me mentally. Mentally, it messed with me, and began to make some inner vows within myself that actually became soul ties and strongholds for me. You know me later on in life as I began to understand what took place, and to catch back up. Then 2 years later, my brother got killed in '80, and then my mom passed away in '82. And remind you, I had just graduated high school in May, and she passed away in July. So that just, you know, it was like I'm still grieving for my brother, still trying to deal with that, and then this happened. So, you know, and like I say, it didn't really have any outlets back then. Growing up, the older cats on the corner that was hanging out, the OGs, so to speak, of the neighborhood, they kind of help a brother, you know what I mean, smooth things out by, you know, here, you know what I mean, take this drink, you know what I mean, here, smoke this weed, you know what I mean, where all thing they was doing was helping me feel numb of not dealing with the emotions that was turmoil in me in the inside, you know? So that's what I learned. That's what I grabbed a hold to, and that's what I ran with and took off in life with. If you feel bad or if you're going through something, get drunk, get high, and that was my that was my avenue and my escape route that I kept on for years, doing that and trying to make that work for me as I growed older. As I growed older, maturity wasn't there because it got stuck with the tragic situations and the traumatizing things that happened to me at a young age. It got stuck. It just stopped. It was just didn't exist. So being lack of maturity and still trying to be an adult in my 20s wasn't good at all. I began to misuse relationships because I didn't know how to connect with people. My train of thought was if I connect with somebody, I'm gonna lose them. I'm not gonna see them again because me and my brother was close, and then here it is, me and my mom, you know, the first woman that, you know me, that you ever fall in love with, you know me, don't exist no more. You know what I mean? It was a short period of time because here it is, I'm 18 and she's gone. Now my other siblings, they had her longer than me. So, you know what I mean? That became and made me a bitter and angry person. Talking about a diary of an angry black man, you know what I mean? I was the witness. You know what I mean? Because I was bitter towards my mom leaving. I was mad at God because here it is, you know, you're supposed to be God and God is good all the time. But then, you know what I mean? You know, you took my brother and you took my mom. You know what I mean? So what's up with that? You know what I mean? You good, you know, can't be too good. You know what I mean? So that drew a wedge in what I thought, you know what I mean, or phantom to be even a relationship with God at that particular time. My 20s, I tell people all the time, was a blur because it was really, hey, drinking, man, just drinking and getting high and doing different things that was leading down a tragic road. Few incidents where I got locked up, went to jail. fuzz girlfriend relationship, couldn't keep that. Abusive relationships, even physical abuse, even verbal abuse. Today I can own up to my behavior, but back then I looked at it as being okay because that's what I knew, that's what I seen. Not knowing that it wasn't right, but just thinking, okay, it was okay because I seen the neighbors do it. I seen it happen to my sister. You know what I'm saying? The OGs on the block, they say that's how it should be done. You know what I mean? So, you read a book called Ice Cube Slim, you know what I'm saying? And he say, hey, put it down like that. You feel me? So, you know what I mean? That's the route I took.
So what led you to go to the Job Corps?
Well, Job Corps was another escape route to try to get out of the small town, man. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, I didn't have no luck with jobs. I go to work at these refineries they have out there, and they'll hire you for like 6 months, and then they'll drop, lay you off. And and that was a continuous cycle, or not getting hired nowhere at all. So my initial, I had signed up for it, and at one particular time, and never heard back from them, actually. And then all of a sudden, here he was like, bam, you know what I mean? You remember when you signed up with Job Corps, we got an opening for you. I'm like, oh, for real? So bam, I jumped on the bus, man, and I left. And actually, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because that gave me an opportunity to leave home, and leaving home and getting comfortable from leaving home, put it that way. You know what I mean? Not being stuck where I can't leave Orange, Texas. I left, I went down there. I stayed like 3 months, got into an altercation. They sent me back home. Yeah. They sent me back home saying that, hey, it was kind of like what you call it, a spell period. You know what I mean? They say, okay, you can come back after 30 days if you choose to. You know what I mean? If you don't, that's on you. So I went back home, and I stayed my 30 days, and actually I was gonna stay, but a good friend of mine, let him rest in peace. He older guy, he said, man, go back where you came from, man, get out of here. You know what I mean? We still doing the same thing down here. Ain't nothing happening. And so I went back to Job Corps. Went back up there and ended up staying an additional 15 months. So took up the trade, offset press operator. Really didn't do anything with it, just something to do, but it gave me an opportunity, like I say, get away from home, to begin to become a man, and recognize that I do have to work if I have to, if I'm gonna eat. So that kind of took off that way, and then end up coming back home, and after Job Corps.
When would you say that things changed or took a turn for the better?
For the better?
Yes.
Somewhat after I went through some more changes after Job Corps, because coming back home wasn't a good situation. About that time, I'm home with my dad. Me and my dad didn't get along. He wasn't working no more. So it was kind of like I had to find my way, you know what I mean? Going, live with this chick, going, trying to, just feel my way and everything. Going, try to live with other relatives and things like that. And then I started using heavy drugs then. I started using the crack then. So when I got tired of that, you know what I mean, that type of lifestyle, I said I needed another exit, some type of exit. So I ended up going to the rehab and getting clean. And once I started getting clean, things began to start little bit getting better because I end up having a stay clean a year and end up relapsing. And then after that relapse, I went back to treatment. And after that one, I hooked up with a friend of mine's, and he put me up under his wing, and I ended up in Louisiana working at a treatment center and becoming a tech there. So that's when things start spiraling into something good, and life began to change and start working out for me.
So
that's when
what was it? Was it in the treatment centers that the rehab places that you were going to, were they spirit-based or no?
No, they was 12-step based, 12 steps. 12-step. Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob. You know what I mean? Realizing that I was powerless, and I had to admit that I was powerless, and make a decision that is this the lifestyle I wanted? Did I want to change? And which I did. I wanted to do better than what I was doing. You know what I mean? Still, I still didn't know who I was or my identity. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that where I came from and where I was going was two different places. And the place where I wanted to go was away from there. And that's where I was. I was away from there. And my thing was, okay, I had to get there out of me. And now that's the job, and that's the place where didn't transpire to after other stuff, because you can take on some stuff. Like I took on religion after I got out of the rehab. And what I'm saying there is I knew of Jesus, I knew of the Bible, I knew of God, but I didn't have a relationship with him. Okay. But I respect him, I reference him. You know what I mean? I would go to church, get the word, you know what I'm saying? Didn't pay my tithes. But I also didn't allow him to consume my whole life either. I kept that separate. You know what I mean? I got Jesus right here. I got Jesse right here. You know what I'm saying? And then I got my ego over here. You know what I'm saying?
So when was it that you had that road to Damascus experience?
Right now, it's like you had a form of godliness, right?
Yeah.
The power. Come on, somebody.
Yeah. I didn't have no power. Didn't have no power at all. No power at all. My road to Damascus, man, I had several of them. You have to understand that I had several of them. But see, I became a licensed minister when I was living in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay. I also went to theological school and at Living Word up under the direction of Apostle Leslie Ford. You know what I mean? I did that. So, and I stayed clean for a long time. Like I say, dealing with just you know what I mean? This phantom of religion and no power.
This phantom of religion and no power.
Yeah, because I was still cussing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I was still going down there praying for folks, you know what I mean? Come on, help, that's sick. You know what I mean? And my demons were still following me and still, you know what I mean, mentally messing with me. And of course I stopped calling them relapses. You know what I'm saying? I went out and got high. You know what I'm saying? I went and did what I did what it do. You understand? And about that time I'm married, and and that didn't mix well at all. So I ended up, and that's how I ended up at VGC, because after I was doing all that other stuff, I called my brother. My brother actually went through that part before me. He was there before me, and that road there was where I was driving on the interstate, and I wanted to kill myself. And I let go of the steering wheel. And nothing happened. And I mean, I got my foot on the accelerator, like, whatever happened, do it. And some kind of way I ended up on side of the road, parked. And I'm in the passenger seat.
Jesus.
And nobody is in the driver's seat. And after getting myself together, putting myself together, I made a phone call to my brother. And thank God he answered the phone. And 2 hours later, I was at the Greyhound bus station heading to San Antonio.
And when you say VGC, you're referring to the Victory Gospel Spiritual Growth Center, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. And that's when my relationship with Christ blew up and just went off the chart. Bishop told me to give him 90 days.
Ooh, I got chills.
Bishop Gay told me to give him 90 days. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And I started seeking it. I started calling out for him. And because you got to understand something too, you know what I mean? Because see, when I got there, I was in the frame of mind, I was going to a rehab. Okay. And when I got there, it was something totally different. So it kind of mesmerized me, you know what I mean? And it kind of messed me up. But you know what I mean? The Bible declares that David found a cave called Adullam. And it was, Adullam mean rest. And it was a cave, you know what I mean? So I had to look at the situation that I was in. I'm like, okay, this is my Adullam. This is my cave, you know what I mean? I'm not at the fine standard place where you can sit back and drink juices and you know what I mean? We going to, you know what I mean, a meeting or, you know what I mean, or we finna have group. It wasn't like that, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, get on your knees and you got to pray. You got to actually cry out to a living God, you know what I'm saying, whom you ain't never seen, but yet you got to believe and trust. Come on, somebody. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Say, how can you even say that you love me and can't love your brother?
That's true. That's what it's saying.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was really a reality check. And I thank God for it, man, because like I said, it saved my life. It really put things back. No, I ain't gonna say back in perspective. I'm gonna say it gave me a road of perspective.
Oh, that's
because
good.
like I say, I had a form of religion. You know what I mean? Like I said, I knew of it, but you know what I mean. Now I got to go find him. Now I got to go meet him. You know what I'm saying? Me, I got to go meet him now. So, because there ain't no other way out now. You know what I'm saying? It's you know what I mean? I can't go read a chapter of this book and say, okay, that's it. All I got to do is follow this guy. No. I got to actually seek his face. I got to actually call him by his name. And then I got to listen for an answer. Remember, I have never met him and never heard his voice. Even though I might have heard his voice, but couldn't recognize and distinguish from the other demons that I had in my head.
Right.
And before I even get there, I got to pray and ask him to remove the demons.
But you can hear him clearly.
So therefore, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Wash me, cleanse me. You know what I'm saying? Make me, you know what I mean, feel worthy to even be in your presence or even say, you know what I mean, that you my God. Now I'm at a humble spot. You know what I'm saying? He said, only way I can come to him is as a child. When you come in the world, first thing the doctor listen for is a cry. You understand? And the cry is to let you know, hey, you know what I mean? Everything is going to be all right. In order for me to know that everything is going to be all right, I got to cry. Now I got my ego in my way. Now I got my pride. You understand me? You know what I'm saying? What I am look like a grown man crying. But I heard a poet say one day, crying is like taking your soul to a laundromat. You dig? You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
I got a lot of laundry here.
So
I got a lot of laundry here, so I
after
begin to
you did
start.
that night, after you did the 90 days, how would you say your life changed in the natural sense after that 90 days?
Oh, it just blew me away because now I have an identity. You know what I'm saying? Now I know, and I know my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Now I know I'm the head.
And not the tail. Mhm.
Okay, come on now.
So
Now
because
some
of
things-
that, did you go back and mend the relationship with your father?
um, somewhat. Remember when I first went to came to San Antonio, I was coming from Minnesota. So the opportunity to actually mend anything with my dad, by the time I went back to visit and things that way, he was already in a nursing home, and my mending with him was like, okay, I'm going to see him. I'm going to show him that I'm okay. Because like I said, I was married then. I had kids, you know, I have 2 daughters now, you know what I'm saying? And able to say, okay, you know, I'm on my feet. You know, nothing real verbal, you know what I mean? Like me and you communicating, nothing like that. But just to him to see that I'm doing somewhat okay was the mending. You understand? But no, just say, okay, Dad, me and you need to talk. No, nothing never happened like that. That never happened. No. But
What about your sisters? Do you have a relationship with your sisters?
oh yeah. We actually, you know, this is how I kind of see it. This is my perspective of it. When my mom passed away, it seemed like everybody dispersed and kind of went their own way to try to do them and find their way. And now later in our lives now, we're doing more family things. We're able to talk to each other now, pick up the phone, how you doing, you know, being cordial to one another. There's no animosity between either one of us. It's more of a family atmosphere now. Every month, like they just got together for January birthdays. We do every month birthdays. They have a dinner or something like that I normally go to or be a part of. And this past weekend, they were showing me pictures where they went to see CC Winan. She was in concert down there. So our sibling relationship is way better than it once was. You know what I mean? And like I said, everybody had to go find themselves. You know. Yeah, you got to remember, you know, when the matriarch of your family has gone, you know, it leaves a lot of scars and you know, it tears up a family, you know.
So what would you say today? So who is Jesse Mahoney today?
Jesse Mahoney today is a man of integrity, individual that cares for others, individual that has learned how to love not only someone else but itself, and I can only do that through the Holy Ghost, through the power of God, because it's like in order for you to fix some things, you have to take it back to the manufacturing, and in order for me to get fixed and be the person I am, I had to take myself back to God. And doing that, God has allowed me to transpire into an individual that don't mind helping anybody, loving on somebody. I'm an outreach worker for this company, and you know, we go out and we deal with the homeless, we deal with the mental health, substance abuse. I do this on a daily basis. You know, I'm in a situation where God has really just blessed me. I tell people all the time, they pay me to be me. You know what I mean? Because you know when you in a situation where, you know, this is what I do. I've been a fisherman of men for years. So here it is. I'm in a situation where, you know what I mean, that's all I do. is go out and try to help somebody. So it's you know what I mean, it's beautiful. God has really just blew my mind. I had a couple of bad marriages, and coming through those situations, and getting back in the perspective of knowing that I am a man of God, no matter what that transpires. You know, because you have to learn. This is what you have to learn. You have to learn that, you know what I mean, every situation is different. And with that being different, you have to handle them different. And so, okay, well, what you mean, preacher? Okay, when a storm rose and Jesus was on the boat and they woke him up, he got up and he rebuked the wind and the water and he told him to peace be still. Okay. Then again, a storm rose and Jesus began to walk on the water to go meet the disciples. Two different situations. He handled it. He rebuked one and he put one up under his feet. Come on, somebody. Good. So God had taught me how to walk on water, put it up under my feet, and then if it's a time to rebuke something, rebuke it and keep on moving. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing when you begin to catch on the concepts and the precepts of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the Bible declares a lot of things, you know what I mean, and it's written, and it was written for us to learn and say, okay, that happened to Job. No, that didn't happen to Job. Job went through that, and Job was just an example. You know what I'm saying? You know, so God telling me is, okay, if I'm struck down with something, you know what I mean, or something is setting me back, you know what I mean, if you keep on trusting me, I'm going to give you twice as much.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you twice as much. You know what I mean? And I'm in that situation right now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm living that type of life right now. I'm getting twice as much from what I've been through. You know what I mean? And I give all the glory to God. I don't boast within myself. I boast because he has allowed me to, you know, me the strength to do that, you know what I mean, in him. Because it's in him that I have my being and have my breath. You know what I mean? And this was one of the another things that taught me was that God spoke to me one day and he said, "You trust me?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "No, you don't." I said, "Yeah, I trust you, God." Okay, if you trust me, give your tithes. Hello. So, you know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, because, you know, I was a tithe struggler.
Come on, keep it real.
A tithe struggler.
Yeah, I was a tithe struggler. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I hit and miss. You know what I mean? But I said, okay, God, bet. And I started giving my tithe. You hear a lot of people say, pay your tithe. No, I ain't paying. You know what I'm saying? God allowed me to get paid so I can give.
So I can give.
Well, come on.
Right.
That's
So now I'm giving my tithes, and God has just been blowing my mind. I've been crumbing myself, actually. You know what I'm saying? And actually, it's not even really about the money all that. It's about being at peace within myself, because now I know that I'm not, you know what I mean, I'm not cheating God from nothing. I totally lean up on him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I know this is something that is a necessity. This is something that you know what I mean, you figure in your budget.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In order to go to life, you know what I mean? So it's no struggle there no more. You know what I mean? So with that, God has really, you know what I mean, allowed me to stay up under the shadow of the Almighty, man. And it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? It's actually blowing my mind. I feel like I'm a better person now than I was, you know what I mean, back then or yesterday, you know what I'm saying, or day before, you know what I'm saying, or even that last moment, you know what I'm saying, even that minute that just passed a few minutes ago. You did? You know what I mean?
So what's in your future? Where do you see yourself going? You know how we do, where you been, where you at, and where are you going?
My going is now is to continue to let God lead me in the ways that he want me to be led. The Bible said it's not good for man to be alone. So, you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to my future of finding Mrs. Mahoney, because you say, well, man, find a wife, you find a good thing.
That's right.
and he find favor. So, you know what I mean? I'm also already vasting in the favor. So I guess I'm waiting on my good thing, you dig?
Amen. Amen. I love it.
I love it. So
You know,
what is it that you would say? So if you could say anything to our listeners to encourage someone who would listen to this or someone that would stumble upon this months later, what would you want them to know?
I would want them to know is this here. Don't never give up. Don't quit on you.
Don't quit
One
on
thing you got to
you.
understand, the struggle is real, and but through that struggle it becomes maturity. You know what I'm saying? There's something that's so precious is this life, and once you realize that your life has a purpose, you understand that, you know what I mean, you got to be driven. There's no stopping in me. You know what I mean? I can't stop. You know what I mean? When that day comes where God calls my name and have to stop, that's only because he wants me to stop. If a person stumble upon this, I want you to know this here. God loves you and God cares for you no matter what you've been through, no matter what you've done. He's a forgiving God and he's a just God. I can tell you some stuff probably can make the hair on back of your neck stand up that I done been through, and God has forgiven me of it. And for that, I'm very grateful. But no matter what you have done, no matter whatever you're going through, just trust God, lean on him, and I guarantee you, you know me, there's a brighter day and better days ahead.
Well, thank you so much for coming on Unapologetic and Free. You don't know my story. We appreciate you. And we thank you for all that you are doing and will continue to do in the community, and for the believers that are in Christ and the ones that are coming.
Thank you for your
Amen.
transparency. We are grateful for the transparency, grateful for the vulnerability to be open and willing to share. Just my personal beliefs is always that if it doesn't help anybody but me, when I share my story, then it's done what it set out to accomplish. And so just know that, you know, even though I knew you, I did not know your story. And again, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this, is because we know people, but we don't know people. You don't know somebody's story just because you talk to them maybe on a regular basis, just because you encounter people in the grocery store and all over, but you just have no idea that the person you're talking to is a walking miracle. And I'm sure you know, but to still be here, you're a walking miracle, because not everybody who went through that same experience you shared woke up, right? Not everybody. So you are a walking miracle. And again, I'm just thankful and grateful that you were able and willing to come on and share your story with us.
Yeah, and I thank y'all for having me. And like I say, thank y'all for even having this platform for people to come. Anything.